Hello there, it's Samantha. Welcome back to my channel. If you're here, hi, hello, my name is Samantha, as I just said. This is my channel where I talk all about books. Anyway, today I'm coming to you with a TBR video. I don't actually do these very often. I tend to only do TBRs if I'm taking part in a readathon, but I just decided to do a TBR for this month because why not? We're in lockdown. It's good to have some structure in my life. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I've put 7 books on this TBR because last month I read 12 books, although actually one of them was a short story and one of them was a picture book, but still, I read 10 like full books. So I decided to put 7 on for this month just so that I'm not, pushing myself too hard. And actually a couple of the books are ones that I kind of want to take my time with, but I still think I'll hopefully be able to complete all of these in a month. It is already the 5th and so far I haven't finished anything. I have hope that I can finish something. So on this TBR I have a couple of review books. They're not actually coming out until June or July, but I just want to stay on top of them because otherwise I know how it goes with me. If I don't read them on time, then it's like years later and I still haven't read them. So I just want to stay on top of them. I've been doing pretty well about staying on top of them so far. But before I get into the review books, I will talk about the physical books that I have that I want to read. So the first one is actually one that I'm already currently reading, and that is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I decided to pick this up on the last day of April. I was like, I could either push myself to try and read something for the owls and not even finish anyway, or I could just pick up this book, which has been sitting on my shelf for years. So I decided to pick this one up. I have been so intimidated by this just because it is so beloved that I was like, oh my god, what if I hate it? And also like everyone's like, it's so sad, it's gonna break you. And I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I'm ready. I'm over halfway done with this and I'm really enjoying it. I haven't cried yet. I'm sure I will at some point. This book is a story that is narrated by Death, and it's the story of this young girl called Liesel or Liesel. I'm not exactly sure how you say it, but I've been reading it as Liesel. Anyway, so it follows our main character Liesel, and this book is set in Nazi Germany, and so our main character Liesel moves in with foster parents. It just kind of follows Liesel, and it is narrated by Death, and it just follows her and the characters she comes into contact with and the events that occur in Nazi Germany at this time. That's the first book that I want to finish this month. The next book that I want to finish this month is also one that I started before, and that is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince by J.K. Rowling. I was supposed to be reading this for the Owl's Magical Readathon, which happened last month, but I did not finish it. So I would like to finish listening to the audiobook of this at some point during the month. This is the 6th book in the Harry Potter series. If you're unfamiliar with it, I don't know where you've been and I can't bother to explain it. Look it up. The next book that I want to finish is one that I started quite a long time ago, and that is This Beast, Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. This book is the 7th book in the Throne of Glass series. It is the finale and it is about 1,000 pages. It's so long. I have the audiobook of this and I will be probably listening to it mostly, although actually I have listened to quite a few of the Throne of Glass audiobooks and I do not like the narrator, so I'm at the point now where I'm like, I cannot sit here and listen to this narrator for like 30 something hours, however long this freaking audiobook is. So I think I'm gonna flip between reading it physically and listening to the audiobook potentially, but I'm currently on page 52. I'm like not even that excited to read it, but I need to finish this series so that I can be done with it. If you don't know what the Throne of Glass series is about, it basically follows our main character Selena Sarlothian, and at the beginning of the book she is in the salt mines, the slave camps called Endovier. The royal guard basically comes and tells her that she can be free of the slave camps if she comes and enters this competition to become the king's champion, which is basically like the king's personal assassin. So Selena takes up that offer and goes to compete in this trial, and honestly, like, that description is so not accurate for where we are in the series. That is really like the first 2 books, and then from the 3rd book onwards we kind of go on a completely different trajectory. I will say the 4th book is my absolute favorite. I don't think this book can top that. It's a fun time. I enjoy it, but I think it's partly because of the nostalgia, but like I started reading these books in 2014. I just need to finish it now. So the last book I have that isn't for review is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I actually took the dust jacket off before we came down to where we're staying for lockdown, so I don't have the dust jacket, which is a shame because the cover of this is absolutely stunning, but you're just gonna have to deal with a boring cover. Maybe I'll find the picture and put it on top. Anyway, I really don't know much about this book. All I know is that this basically follows our main character Zachary, and he is writing his thesis, I think, for university, and he's in the library and he finds this book which has this very specific story from his childhood which he hasn't told anyone, so it's kind of like he's trying to figure out why. And honestly, I don't know anything about this book. I picked it up because I heard it was amazing, and I'm really excited but intimidated by it because of all the good reviews I've heard about it, but also because I don't really know anything about it. But actually I love going into books blind. You're taken on such a wild ride, either in a good way or a bad way. I am excited to pick this one up and see how it goes. This is like a tentative one because I know this is going to be a bit of a slower read, but I'm really excited to do that. I actually like reading books slowly sometimes and just like savoring it, so I'm excited to try this one out. Alright, so the next 3 books on my TBR are all ones that I got for review, and I actually don't know very much about them, so I will link the Goodreads page down below. So the first of my review books that I really want to get to is The Love Square by Laura Jane Williams. I literally started this book the other day and I already cannot remember the main character's name, which is terrible. But this book follows our main character and she has been pretty unlucky in love. She's been back on the dating scene recently. It hasn't been going very well. She always finds that guys only want like 2 dates with her and they just want to sleep with her and then they ghost her. And then one day this guy walks into her coffee shop that she owns and they just hit it off. And her shop is based in London, but unfortunately she has to move up to the Midlands to help out her uncle with his restaurant or something like that. And so she has to leave this new relationship behind. But then when she goes to wherever she goes, I think it's in Derbyshire, and she just finds that all of a sudden all these guys seem to be interested in her, and so she's kind of in this love square situation. And yeah, I just think it sounds like a lot of fun. I've never heard of this author before, but apparently she's written other very popular romance books, so I'm just really excited to read it. If you watched my wrap up from last month, you'll know that I've read quite a few adult romance books and I enjoyed a lot of them, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. The next one is another contemporary, but this is actually a YA contemporary, and this book is called Date Me Bryson Keller by Kevin Van Wy. And this book basically follows our main character, whose name I've forgotten because I am the worst, but he is gay, and in his school there's this boy called Bryson Keller, and basically I think every week someone dares Bryson to date someone and then he has to date them for a week. And so this boy dares Bryson to date him. I think Bryson's only ever dated girls, but I think it's going to be like a cute LGBT romance and I'm very excited for it. And I do believe it's Own Voices. That's that book. I'm very excited to read it. And the final book on my TBR for this month is another review book, and this one I think comes out June 4th. But this is a YA fantasy book called The Court of Miracles by Kester Grant. I actually don't remember anything from the synopsis of this book. All I remember is that it is set in historical Paris, and I don't know why, but that particular setting of historical Paris is just one that I really want to read more of. It really intrigues me, and so yeah, I saw it. It had a pretty cover and it had an interesting synopsis, which I've now forgotten. It drew me in and I decided to request it and I got approved. Oh, by the way, all of the review books that I talked about I got from NetGalley, in case you're wondering. As I said, I will link all of the Goodreads pages down below so you can get a better idea of the books, because my descriptions are not always great, especially as I haven't read them yet. So those are the 7 books that I plan on reading this month. Let's see if I can do it. I mean, I finished classes on Thursday, so I should be able to. But anyway, those are all the books on my May TBR. Let me know what books you plan on reading down below. I would love to know. If you've read any of the books I talked about, let me know your thoughts, but spoiler free, obviously, because I haven't read any of these books. But yeah, that's all I have for today's video, so I hope you liked it. If you did, please give a thumbs up. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe down below. And I'm going to be trying to post videos on Mondays and Fridays, but we'll see. So I will see you very soon with another video. Bye!